So we're going to get it going to a level that nobody can ever turn course on us, nobody can ever change. Feel it, do 'em.
Shall we? Let's get there. Hi, hey everybody, welcome. Microphone is on, everybody's up. It's a live stream, and that's how it goes. It's Monday, it's Labor Day. I hope you're not laboring today, and if you are laboring, labor has been mild with a slight chance of cloudy comfort, big comforty clouds or something. I don't know. I, on the other hand, been chipping away at stuff, as you might have noticed, and I'm going to keep working at it, as it were. Oh, dear God, Spice Girl broke your leg with multiple fractures. Why would you do such a thing? What in the heavens to Betsy? What? Good Lord. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, my God. Oh, I see, because this is the background. Beg your pardon. I was like, I set up my new little thingy-madodger. And let's stretch this out. I've got to use the Option key and do that. Excellent. Ouch. Well, heal well. Good Lord. The Twitter trend has Nazis for Biden. Geez, yeah, the irony. Well, that's, you know why they say that is because they're running on this whole concept of all the Nazis that are showing up and parading and all that kind of stuff. It isn't because Donald Trump has set those assholes loose and made them feel welcome. It's because they're all feds. They're just all feds. Everybody's a fed, right? I guess that's the going storyline. I'm still trying to find, and CSL, I don't know if you've been able to find it, wait. On my campaign, let's see. I'm trying to find the the T-shirt ad that Trump did in its unexpurgated form. So if anybody can find that and throw it in the because I've been looking for it, and I found references to it and pieces of it, but I want the whole thing. For a lot of reasons. I have plans. Not just to show it, but with it. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hello. Burning Man is turned into a muddy mosh pit. I mean, I guess it would. Ever surrender? No, I made a couple of other ones. Let's see. Oh, did I transfer them over there? I think I did. Let's see. I got to do how do you view the thing? How do you view it by... and it's so weird on PC how to set it up to look at open to view when you're flipping through images, being able to see the goddamn things. But I think they'll all just be under Trump something. So because I made a bunch of those things. Yep, there we go. for example, let me bring this up. Let's see. I know what I can do. I can do this one to this one, and then open them. Wish me luck. Here we go. So yeah, I made a few of these. Hold on, move over here. I'll stretch them out so you guys can see the ones that I mean, I thought, you know, in all fairness, I thought, you know, like this one works really well. Hold on, let me shrink it down some. See, whoops, get out of here, Navarro. You're in the way, as per usual. The yeah, there you go. Thought that one was a pretty decent one. And then let's see, where is this? Oh Lord, you silly thing. Well, open this one. And yeah, that one might have been a little on the nose. I think. No. Just thoughts. This is, hey, you may not know art, but you know what you like. I thought this one would be a pretty good one. Just in general, that's kind of an oldie but a goodie. This was an obvious one, I thought. I mean, how do you not? Because it's literally, I think Never Back Down is the DeSantis moniker or whatever. Yeah. And then whatever. I think there's one that I should. Yeah, that one. That's probably a bit too much. That was. You don't think this is what happens when I have any free time, or while I'm waiting for something. Sorry. Oh God. That's bad. Yeah, and then that one worked. I think this is this is rock solid. And yeah, that is solid. And then this one I think works really well. Which is kind of an ironic one. That's fairly in line with so anyways, all of those shirts are currently available at his merch store. And I'm kidding. I very well may make some of those available on my my merch store for those who dare. So it's Trump with muscles and how with muscles and hold too well. Go muscles and hold. I don't know what hold too well. As you type something. Yeah. Yes, I have been busy. God damn it. But I need the video because he pulls up the shirt and he goes, I don't know, people like it. And there's just no way I don't make a like here
I am like an idiot.
Video of him holding something up. Oh, God bless you, CSL. Thank you. There we go. Live Truth Social, Real Donald Trump. There we go. Okay, America's Big Tent social media platform. Here it is. Okay, so this. Please tell me this is it. Oh my God. He looks like he's holding in a fart. I need a download of this ASAP. Highest quality we can possibly get, because I have some After Effects stuff that I've been working on that are gonna, you'll see. It's just too good. Thank you, brother. Oh, here we go. So let's jump into this one because I haven't watched this. All I've seen is the like mini clip of him holding the shirt up. Okay. Also, part of his whole dropping the 30 videos and the post where he said, it's the greatest social media site of the whole wide, wonderful world. When he said that the other day, is because he was going to get sued by the SPAC. Because he posted on Twitter. He posted the picture on Twitter. Have I tried Houdini? No, I have not. But okay, let's take a look. Hold on. God help me. Oh wait, is this not gonna play because it's on?
Is there anyone on the planet that doesn't know what I look like? I wish there were some people like that.
Believe me, I wish I was one of them, fuckhead. Good Lord, just pitiful audio too.
Very nice for me.
That would be very nice for me. Then I could escape. But everybody knows who I am, so I can't get out of here.
And yet, for some reason, the communist Democrats in Atlanta.
I fucking love how he's trying to be happy about this.
Made a mugshot of me. That's a mugshot.
That's a mug shot. As a shot of my mug.
Because I said the election was rigged, and
no. A lot of people said the election was rigged. They don't have mugshots. You did a bunch of shit, fucko.
I believe it more strongly than ever. It was a rigged election. We all know why, and we know what they're doing, and we certainly get it.
Yeah, yes, we've been following. We heard the phone call where you were trying to get the governor, after you'd run out of legal means, to give you votes that you hadn't earned and that there was no...
But I know I'm your favorite president.
No. I can just tell he fucking hates doing this, and it's so good.
And they make me look like a criminal, but it completely and totally backfired, as you probably read. Since my mugshot was...
No, it did not completely backfire.
Released, our campaign has raised over $10 million. The people get it. The people know this is a sham and a scam.
Both. It's a sham and a scam. Also, the $10 million immediately spent on legal fees.
This is nothing but election interference. They want to interfere with our election.
Oh, that's what those words mean. I hadn't realized it until you put them in the other order and you reverse the order. Now I understand what you're trying to say, even though it's stupid.
So they can try and damage me with all these bullshit lawsuits that you see.
Uh-oh. Boom. Oh, he's swearing now, kids. Pull the children away from the TV monitor. It's prayer circle's over. But it's just bullshit. That's what a calm leader with a grasp on his mental state and his emotions says.
See flying all over the place.
Bullshit flying all over the place?
Since my mugshot was released, our campaign has raised over $10 million. The people get it. The people know this is a sham and a scam. This is nothing but election interference. They want to interfere with our election so they can try and damage me with all these bullshit lawsuits that you see flying all over the place.
They do fly all over the... You know what's funny is you're the one actually flying all over the place to deal with all these lawsuits. I find that interesting. Are you would that make you bullshit? That's interesting. It's an interesting philosophical quandary.
But it's election interference. It's orchestrated by crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, along with the deep state. And on November 5th, 2024, it's going...
Can you get rid of the deep state? You know what? I bet his nights are just filled with regret, that he didn't get rid of the deep state when he had a chance. It's, it's just, it's, I could have, I should have golfed one less day and I could have gotten rid of that deep state, and one day I could have done it so quickly, could have gotten it out of there. Oh. I don't know why he's making monkey face. Sorry. Poop. 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 Beep. Poop. 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 Beep. Poop. 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 Beep. Poopy. Sorry. Where were we? I can't not. All right, here we go. Here comes the shirt. I'm so excited.
Going to backfire again when we win back the White House and make America great again. I just want to thank you for your tremendous support. And here it is. If you want to go out and get it, you can go out and get it. Have fun with it. But
Shit. Have fun with it. Oh, god damn it. Like he's so the pained jaw.
Great again. I just want to thank you for your tremendous support. And here it is. If you want to go out and get it, you can go out and get it. Have fun with it. But people do like it, I must say. Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ. What a miserable bastard. Yeah, this is the face of a man who I'm shocked to find out he pops awake in the middle of the night and starts screaming into his Truth Social machine. That's the I try to increase the volume of the clip. It's very quiet. It's how he put it together. I think that's how they get around some of these things. I think he honestly they lower the volume on some of these videos just because he's fucking embarrassed. I'm not kidding. What a maroon. Jesus. Hold on, I'll see if I can. There we go. God damn it. Like the whole thing, just like the
Is there anyone made it that is there any made what they're doing? Since my mugshot, I know I'm your favorite president, raised over the rigged election. We all know why. Planet that doesn't know what I look like. I wish they would certainly get it. As I said, the election, I know they want to interfere with our and $1 billion. The people get criminal, but the people know this is a and we
makes more sense when I do it this way.
Since my mugshot, I know I'm your favorite campaign is raised over, so they can try and people all these lawsuits at state and flying all over the place. Nothing but election interference is orchestrated by crooked Joe Biden, the White House, president, and the history with all these lawsuits that you see flying. Election interference is again when we look at Joe Biden, the worst president in the.
So stupid. Oh God, I have such plans for that shot where he holds the shirt up. I can't tell you. I'm going to put that's going to be some late night tinkering. The hold on. Let's see, where is that? Yeah. We'll get into that. How many golf balls does this guy lose? It's hard to say. Yeah, it's interesting that Biden's the worst, most crooked, most corrupt president we've ever had, blah, bitty, blah, bitty, blah, and yet he kicked your ass from a basement. We get it. Okay, now, lots more stuff to cover, by the way. It's a special Labor Day edition, so there's a ton of stuff to cover. Everybody's got fill-ins this weekend, except people that need one. We rarely do. By the way, welcome to infotainmentwars.com. We have the documents. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a petite little feller known as Alex Jones, and he's apparently in on a rascal scooter driving through Austin, screaming at people. I guess on it, wearing a Space Force shirt on his way to get, I guess, the fluid drained from his pecs from the steroid use that went wrong. This says Alex warns Austinites about new COVID mandates. Yeah, this is one of the big things we've been hearing. Like, they mention maybe you might want to get a booster. And suddenly it's like, they're going to lock us down. This is the only way they can win. So here we go. The Alex Jones Show 2.0. Well, God knows maybe by iteration 5 or 10, they'll get it right. Dear God.
We came out here an hour ago.
No one cares.
And not one leftist would defend the mask from the shots.
Oh my God. Somebody call Steven Crowder. He's stealing Steven Crowder's shtick. Not one leftist would. Yeah, Hey, fuckhead. If you haven't noticed, everybody's too busy jogging. You're on a jogging path. You fat fuck. What are you doing? Nobody wants to talk to me.
Coherent argument. None of them can change my mind about not.
Yeah, he's straight up just, JonesCrowder.com. Is that his joke, or are they pairing together? Or did Crowder trick him into getting out in the street doing this?
The COVID tyranny protocol to come back. Send me your non-binary quadruple bags champion.
Everybody's like, dude, what the fuck are you? Get out of
Tell
here.
me why we need new mandates
Nobody thinks we do, shithead.
and new lockdowns and 5 masks.
I didn't take a shot, and I'm thankful for you that I didn't do that, because you awakened me to a lot of things.
How are you doing?
Could you maybe give him a free Infotainment War shirt for all of us?
Tell us real quick, would you like to wear masks again or try to bring the mandates back?
I do not want to wear.
So you're not, well, come tell us. You won't? Well, all right, you better speak up. They're coming to do it. So
No, they're not. This is like the lamest fucking pickup line ever.
I'd say what, 5 to 1 are against it? More shots, more shots. You want more shots?
I need a hug.
You need more shots. I do. Come give me a hug. Please don't hurt the baby. Please don't give him the poison shots. Alex Jones turned out to be right. And Bill Gates and Fauci and Klaus Schwab, they turned.
I love how they're playing the action music for a creep standing on a bridge with a folding table yelling into a megaphone by himself.
Out to be wrong because they were lying on purpose and they need to go to prison for what they've done. But the leftists, they don't like us. They want us to shut up. They want to shut you up.
No, I just think they're bored with you, dude. If they wanted to shut you up and they ran everything, how are you still alive? Jesus Christ.
We're not going to shut up because we're at Mud Club.
Oh, he is. Dude is fucking falling in. He's part of Mud Club. He's doing this for Crowder's channel. Or vice versa. Fucking hell. Did Crowder pay Alex Jones, like, bills for a while?
We have only begun to fight in the information war, and we will never.
Yes, well, if in the annals, and I do mean that, of only begun to fight, yelling on a bridge with a megaphone is pretty baseline, I gotta say. That, like, I mean, it is one step above a soapbox and hear ye, hear ye.
Surrender! Never surrender! Good. You there in the black Ford truck. Are you planning to take more shots?
Good Lord, what a lazy fucking hell. That is, I'm shocked that's as lame as it was. Like, because this is like one of Trump's like rallies where it turns out to be half a school gymnasium. And he's like, they took that picture. That video was taken before I even showed up. And you're like, dude, we could hear you talking in the background. They show you on stage. I'll bring the video of him in MTG. She makes a fool of herself. Ari, the Burning Man with all this. Oh, yeah. She says stuff about Burning Man. Mug Club is Crowder's. Okay, so basically, it looks like what we just watched is actually a commercial for Steven Crowder's Mug Club, which is their. A lot of these guys can't do Patreon because they get kicked off for being bigots. And so they form their own kind of like membership channel. And that's what that is. And so basically Alex did this for a shave of the profits for people joining Mug Club. That's what it looks like. All right. So this is just an ad. Fucking hell. By the way, like, subscribe. I don't have one of those things yet. I should get one at one point. But I have, some sort of like bizarre cultish. Well, we'll save that for when we buy, when CSL and a couple of us, move into the missile silo. It'll happen. Oh God. All right. So there are a couple areas where I get, I got a special. They step on my special nerve, and a lot of it's about China. This one's kind of amazing because this is, and I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to take this, but it looks a little hinky. and I'll show you why. Jack Posobiec, possibly an asshole, we don't know, has a video out. China Files, World War Taiwan. Chinese blockade of Taiwan, how would the U.S. respond? And then below here, it kind of describes what's happened. He goes, Posobiec breaks down the economic impact a war with China would have on the American supply chain. Technology, components, plastics, prescription drugs, many other products would all be at risk because the elites decided to rely on Chinese manufacturing. Okay, first of all, again, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about as far as, quote, the elites. Like, everybody was making shit in China, and our drugs are made in China. A lot of them, or the precursors for them, are made in China because it's cheap. There are a lot of other places we can get them. We can get them from India. We can get them from Europe. We can make them ourselves. The only reason we've gotten, 90% of them from China is because they're cheap, because they keep the cost down. That's it. So the idea that we're fucking trapped and nobody will have any aspirin is just it's idiotic. Secondly, yeah, many drugs come from India and Israel. Yes, they're the materials are often the precursors are gotten in India, and then Israel fabricates it. It's like that. Nutria 66, what's happening, Nutria 66? 88. Look at that. We're all doubling up our stuff. Okay, so here we go. This is, and I don't know why, like, there's he just laid some shit out. There's some pissing strips and a blood tester and insulin and these generic white pills. So he bought some clip art, basically. But the idea is, I'm just curious, is this asshole saying that the elites, we shouldn't go to war with Taiwan because we'll run out of all these things? Or we should get the fuck out of there, which we are, thanks, Joe Biden. And I don't know. Anyways, let's see. I'm so fucking confused at because this goes against their curious narrative, except for the fact that, like, everybody sold us out of the river. You can't trust anybody, except Donald Trump, who was in there for 4 years and didn't do fuck all about it.
The Chinese Communist Party is saying, no, we're kicking out Western influence. We want only Asian influence allowed on this side of the Pacific.
Is that what they're saying? That's what they're saying? They want only Asian influence? No. They want specifically CCP, Han Chinese only. They're not like, hey, Japan, hey, South Korea, hey, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand. We're your buddies. They're not popping the we all look alike card or some shit. What are you talking about?
Pacific. This is our land. This is our water. This is our island. And who are you to tell us how it should be run? And by the way, didn't you already agree to the one China policy anyway?
Yeah. Okay. Soft State Department policy is not the same thing as if an area declares its independence and they've had their own government for a long time. That we believe in a one China policy in terms of culture, not the fact that they could fucking invade the place, which is proved out in the last fucking 5 decades because they haven't. This is just a child with 107-degree fevers understanding of the one China policy.
So they'd have Biden over a barrel. Absolutely.
No, they don't. If they have him over a barrel, they had Trump over a barrel with a cork in his ass.
Absolutely. But you've also got a sort of, shall I say, I shouldn't say Mexican standoff, but we're going to go.
There's a lot of reasons why he shouldn't say that, but
go ahead and say it. Because, of course,
if it's a Mexican standoff, then both have an equal problem. Mexican standoff is when everybody involved has a gun on everybody else.
The U.S. is the consumer market for the Chinese economy. China is the manufacturers for the U.S. economy.
Good Lord. What? I mean, can you hear the crayons and hammers banging away in the background in the writing of this fucking script?
So you've got a dual-edged sword there. Which side blinks?
Yes, it's a dual-edged sword, Mexican standoff of swords.
First, is it the side that needs the consumption to continue the activity, or is it the side that says, we'll take the hit? So it becomes a war of attrition.
Wait a minute. We'll take the hit fuck are you talking about? It's the side that needs to sell the stuff. Because if there's anywhere else to buy shit, we'll fucking find it. This is, oh God, you guys know this fucking works my last nerve. Like, let me show, all right, fuck that. After this, is this, no. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you right now. So, there's this jackhole that runs a channel called Valuetainment. And it started out as kind of like a Andrew Tate kind of a channel, like, you know, how to get ahead in business and all that stuff. And then this dickhead just rolled in behind Trump and started sucking. And let me find, where is this fucker? Because it's so weird. Yeah, here it is. So this is
billion won.
This guy's, hold on. This guy, Patrick Bet David is his name. This is, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Patrick Bet David. Hi, Patrick Bet David, when your friends send you this clip. I remember when this channel used to sort of just be like about like maximum effort and prosperity consciousness and making money and being smart and businessman, blah, blah, blah. And then he just became a fucking Trump suck. And I don't know where the fuck that like that turn came, and I kind of don't give a shit because it's not something I watch on the regular. But he started cranking out these like I knew it all along fucking videos. When he so is that the channels on your channels list on your YouTube page thing? Yeah, because I followed it a long time ago when it was that thing, and they just keep showing up. Yeah. So this guy, look at this. China's catastrophic economic crisis. Is the bubble about to burst? In this episode, Patrick Bednar explains how China is facing a massive economic crisis due to its over-leveraged real estate market and youth unemployment problem. Yeah, the shit I've been telling you for 2 fucking years. And this, listen, all right. You go down this dude's channel and he'll tell you stuff. He went straight into the China's gonna eat our lunch shit everywhere. Like he's been selling that shit for a while. And like mostly soft pedaling it. But now all of a sudden he's like, guys, you got to learn how this works. Okay, let me tell you how what's really going on.
I don't know if you're following what's going on in China right now, but
yeah, I have been, fuckhead. I haven't been following it. I've been ahead of it, you dumbass. You're the one following it.
some are saying China's going through a real estate apocalypse, literally.
Some are saying they'll go through a real estate apocalypse.
I mean, think about how competitive these guys are.
They're not. They're not fucking, it's a communist country, fuckhead. That's their problem. They're not competitive. They're territorial. It's not the same fucking thing, stupid. If you don't know the difference between territorial and competitive, you'll lose everything forever. Everything you try, stupid. They're territorial. They're not competitive. That's it. Shit. Fucking, oh, God.
I say Americans are the most competitive people in the world. However,
yes, we are.
did you know China has a city called Tianducheng that they built the exact Eiffel Tower in that city?
Yes, I did. I did a show about it 1.5 years ago just to explain to people my trip there. But yes, this has been, everybody who's on the internet knows this, dickweed. And it's the whole town's decrepit. This is old footage. Nobody fucking lives there. Jagoff, what is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. They're so competitive, guys. You're not going to believe what they've done. They did it fucking 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And it's ass. It's rusty and shitty and it's like a fucking theme park. Nobody cares.
Build a strip just like Champs-Elysees, where in the real estate that you buy in the city is so expensive, kind of like how it is in France. That's how competitive this place is.
That's not competitive. That's territorial. They're planning on, they basically want their populace to travel without traveling. Because if they actually go to France and go, this is fucking, I don't know, we have one of those, but it's way more fun here. That's the part that's going to ruin the whole fucking country. And it's tofu drag, absolutely.
However, China's got a big problem. Something crazy just happened this last month.
This last month? This motherfucker's rolling in just as Country Garden doesn't hit its bonds?
Garden Holdings, which is their biggest real estate company developer in China, that did 441 billion wons last year.
Yuan.
Just missed the debt payment. You ever missed a credit card payment? You ever like, I forgot to make that payment. Who calls you? The credit card company. They just miss a debt payment.
Yeah, it's that simple. Yeah, it's just like that. When the largest real estate company in China misses a bond payment, it's just like, hey, you ever miss a credit card payment and they call you? Yeah, it's exactly like that. Except you can go, I'll pay it on Wednesday, or I'm gonna overpay, or I'm paying just the balance this month, or I got laid off or whatever. They have mitigatory issues, or like all the stuff that happens the first time you miss your credit card payment that you can work out with the credit card company so that you don't get a real hit on your credit, or you can make continue payments when you get another job. All that stuff that happened months ago, fuckhead.
Payment. You know how much it was? Just 20 million wons, and they missed it. And in China, there's all these cities called ghost cities.
Jesus Christ! Like this fucking video came out 9 hours ago. Jesus Christ, dude. And this dude, I love how this fucker is doing a 15-minute video on like, no way, guys, you're not gonna believe this. No way. Hey, no way. No way, guys. No, you're not gonna believe this, but shit. This is the guy David Pakman talked to on his show. Kind of douchey. Yeah, kind of. Good Lord. That's Pakman's thing right now. He's calling douches up and getting them to drop by his show so they can get the all shit clicks. Good Lord.
They have 65 to 90 million vacant homes. Everybody's looking at the data saying China's selling themselves as they're doing really good. But wait till you see when we compare them to another case study.
All right, that sentence just didn't make any sense. Everybody's saying that China's selling themselves really good. Yes, they're bullshitting. It's bullshit. Come on, guys, check this out.
Of another country that grew as fast as they did, you should see what happened to them next. If you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and
no. Yeah, what's next?
Subscribe to the channel.
Don't do
you remember earlier this year or last year when Silicon Valley Bank or Signature, or it was a couple other ones that went out of business and others came and picked them up because rates were going up too quickly. They couldn't make their payments. Like, oh my God, what is going on over here? Now imagine if that happened.
Crypto, fuckwad. Something you're into. Look at this dude just like, is that right? Is any of this right? Is this work? You think they're buying it?
To JP Morgan Chase or a BlackRock, because this company we're talking about is not just one of the companies, it's the biggest company in the real estate development.
All right, stop with the fucking slap cuts. God damn. Anyways, you get my point about this prick. Like, it times right into, let me see if I can open this. Where is it? Because I don't want to accidentally click. Let's see. This business, where is this it? Yeah. So there is a new birth, ladies and gentlemen. You know how much I gotta say I hate being right all the fucking time. But I've been telling you about this shit for a long time, and these guys this is the most fascinating part, is that these guys are trying to catch up to this story in a way that makes the current administration look bad. In many ways, that's what these videos seem to be about. Like, oh my God, this just fucking happened. Or it's not real until this dickhead talks about it. There's some people who are like that out there. Until my guy on the internet brings it up, it's not real. So anyways, fuck that guy. But like that video is just fucking embarrassing.
In that case, from the U.S. and China's perspectives. Just imagine.
Again, fucking Pozovic's going to be run us through it. So what happens? Okay, America wants teddy bears, and teddy bears are nice to have, but China has to sell teddy bears that they don't eat. Which one's in more trouble? The country that would like a teddy bear but could go without a teddy bear, or the country that needs food?
You can't get new parts for your iPhones.
They assemble them there, fuckwad.
You can't get new glass.
You can't get new glass. I'm just 1 second, kids. Dink. There we go. Corning is the Apple supplier for glass, for example. It's built its first integrated supply chain to produce next-gen, ultra-thin, bendable glass for foldable phones. One of Apple's key suppliers, Corning Incorporated, has built its first integrated supply chain to produce next-generation, ultra-thin, bendable glass in South Korea, where it plans to invest a combined $1.5 billion for 5 years. As chairman and chief executive Wendell Weeks, what a lovely name for a chairman. It's begun mass production of the advanced foldable substrates in the Asian country under a 5-year investment plan, said during a news conference in Seoul. I hope this is just the first of what will become a new platform in many different locations around the world, he said in reference to the new production facility for the next generation bendable glass at its Asan plant in South Chungcheong province. It was the first time special glass maker to make public announcement that in mass production its next generation Gorilla Glass Victus used for smartphone screens and automobile displays. The ultra thin bendable glass is so flexible it can be folded and unfolded hundreds of thousands of times. It was equipped in some products like the Flip 7, the Galaxy Z Flip 5, the latest foldable phone from there. Wendell Weeks added blah blah blah. The glass. My point is most of the fucking glass comes from fucking Korea. You're gonna not have glass. Oh, man. Now what? Fucking hell. Give me 1 second. I never expected to be this agitated today, I have to say. Let's see. At this, because, I mean, Lord almighty, these guys are dumb. Here, okay. Hold on. Jamie, bring up that thing about the foldable glass that's made in out of Chinese noodles, and they can't make it, like, the only thing they can make it out is, Jamie, put it up there. Put up the article I half read about the Drudge Report guy that wrote that there's no glass available on the planet anymore. Put that, yeah. So, son of a bitch.
Stores are becoming empty.
Okay, all right. First of all, dipshit. All right. Those are tortillas. Those are tortillas. That's tortillas. That's tortillas. Okay, so you took a picture from a store in Mexico near the border.
Walmart.
That's exactly, guys. Let me know in the chat by I don't know how many crickets, how empty the shelves are in a place near you or whatever. Yeah, it's the snack thing. That is CVS. It's the snack aisles. Whatever the fuck.
Target. You're starting to not be able to see things anymore.
Yeah, it's right. Blindness. We all have blindness. We're not gonna have the glass for our eyes.
Plastic containers, cups. We saw a little of this during COVID, by the way.
A little bit.
Where do you think all that stuff is manufactured these days?
In a lot of different places now. Lot more different places than then.
You want
also, can you just tell? Look at this motherfucker. Look at this segment. Okay, this is a 5-minute segment this guy's putting up. You can grasp, I think, you can look when somebody is arguing a point and they know they're lost, where they're like, yeah, that's totally, it was, no, the car was parked right there, officer. It was parked the whole time. Yeah, no. I was walking. I wasn't driving it. I know, yeah, no, because I knew I was above the legal limit. I just happened to, I was at a party about 2 miles from here, and I drove, I parked here, and then I walked to the party, and then I was walking back, but I wasn't going to get in the car.
New glass. Stores are becoming empty.
Jesus Christ. No, they aren't. We have an inventory problem.
Walmart.
Too much.
Target. You're starting to not be able to see things anymore. Plastic containers, cups. We saw a little of this during COVID, by the way. Where do you think all that stuff is manufactured these days?
The Czech Republic, India, China, Mexico, Guatemala.
You want to take it another step?
Yeah, definitely, because we haven't taken a step yet.
How about your amoxicillin?
How about my amoxicillin?
How about your doxycycline? How about your
How about it?
insulin? How about all the prescription drugs, the antibiotics, everything that's out there? Now, not to go down too much of the big pharma rabbit hole, but some people would argue that it's better if the United States has less prescription drugs.
Yeah, insulin's not a prescription drug, fuckwad. And antibiotics are not prescription drugs in the way you're talking about them. This is just stupid.
But what about things like antibiotics and insulin that people need to stay alive? What about
Yeah, you think India buys them from China?
cancer medication? Where do you think all that stuff is made?
India, Israel, the Czech Republic. There's even places in Ukraine that do it if the Russians don't blow it up. Here.
Now suddenly the United States can't get that.
And what do you do then? So, why are you defending Taiwan? Then what? Then what? Huh? If we don't take... So, Jack Posobiec's essential theory or his statement, what is his thesis in this is what the word I was looking for. His hypothesis is that if we don't take it up the keister from China and let them do whatever they want to Taiwan, we're not going to be able to get stuff that we can clearly get from someplace else.
And keep in mind, this is under your most likely scenario.
No, it isn't.
This is the best case scenario
No, it isn't.
in a wartime situation, or not even a war, but a conflict that breaks out over the question of the status quo of Taiwan,
Over the question of the status quo. This motherfucker has no idea what side of this issue he's on.
of Taiwan. Now all of a sudden, your foods are going scarce.
Your foods are going scarce. People, your foods are going scarce. Jamie, bring up that thing about food insecurity being about people that like it's like a phobia. I read this article where every sandwich they eat looks like Woody Allen. Yeah, bring the food insecurity thing. Put that up on the screen. Jamie, put that up on the screen.
Your stores are going scarce. Your drugs are
The stores are going scarce. Fuck, first the food, now the whole store is gone. What the fuck?
going scarce. Medicines are going scarce.
They're going scarce. Is that an actual way of speaking? Is that how English works in any of your households? Are going scarce. Becoming scarce, I suppose.
You can't get this. Why? Because our elites decided that they could save a buck by having all of this manufactured in China.
Okay, so the premise of this is that it was always the globalists are bad. That's the idea. And that the elites, and by that way, anybody who has stock in a company and wants it to be profitable, during the time when Xi Jinping wasn't running China, were somehow fucking stupid to get stuff made in China on the cheap, including Donald Trump and his goddamn ties. But all of a sudden, they should have known all along. Jack's been warning them, the China files.
You know what else they would do?
What?
You think the fentanyl problem is bad now?
Yeah, but it's getting better.
They would be ramping up the fentanyl production in China. And they would...
First of all, for the most part, it's the precursors they send out. They don't send out full-on fentanyl in the United States. They have it made by the cartels in Mexico. That's one of the ways they get around getting in too much deep shit. Anyways, but if you're basically saying they would do a chemical weapons attack on the United States, again, you can only take it if you want to take it, or mistakenly take it. But what the fuck are you? They're gonna ramp it up and put it in the goddamn water supply? Is that what you're arguing? If we come to Taiwan's defense,
go to their cartel buddies.
Right, there you go.
And they would tell them, you need to step up operations tenfold. They would...
And they would go, why? Do you want me to kill all my customers? Are you stupid?
Flood as much fentanyl as they could across that southern border and they'd start doing it out of sheer spite.
I don't like America anymore. Their meanings, no. I was gonna, you know what? I'm even gonna, you know what? I'm gonna send all the fentanyl over there. I don't like them anymore. They won't buy my teddy bears. I'm gonna send that over there. I don't like them. I'm going to murder millions of people just for spite.
They would do everything they can to eat away at our own country. Right now.
All right. I'm just curious where this motherfucker's off-ramp is.
They're in the slow lane. They're doing it.
Right now, they're in the slow. This is cruising speed for their fentanyl murder spree.
But they're doing it little bit by little bit. Every year, every day. Now, they're going to switch it over into high gear. They're going to flood our cities with fentanyl. They're going to come for our children.
First of all, it takes like 2 handfuls to murder an entire city. What do you mean flood the fucking city? If they drop it in the water supply, it's an act of war. So just fucking call it. If they where the fuck do you think they're going to smuggle it? What are you talking about? The market is saturated already, dipshit. Like, the cartel's gonna go, look, they want their customers high and to keep coming back. They don't want them fucking dead.
Children. Snapchat. TikTok.
Oh.
They will be contacting your children on TikTok, not the CCP themselves.
No, of course not. Yeah, left-wing influencers with blue hair. Trans activists on TikTok will be selling fentanyl to your kids and trying to convince them to change their gender and compete in sports while on drugs.
But where do you think the fentanyl comes from?
Well, it's made in Mexico, fabricated out of 2 main sources, the precursors. Some of them do indeed come from China. Others come from Arizona, interestingly enough. Is Arizona flooding American streets with fentanyl? Are they going to ramp up production? Or are they going to cut production? Then there's going to be kind of like an oil price race. Oh, man, that's going to be complicated.
Where do you think the synthetic drugs? They think they're buying ecstasy. They think they're buying crystal meth.
Yeah, the easy stuff, the light stuff. They think, Mom, I thought I was just getting crystal meth off of Snapchat.
They think they're buying oxycodone, Oxycontin, Adderall. But what are they actually taking? What's actually in those pills? They don't know.
Right. And if they dumped more fentanyl into the country, like you say they're going to, then there would be so many deaths that everybody would just stop taking everything. The problem would be the inverse, that no one would trust any drugs unless they got them from a pharmacy, directly themselves, like hand to hand, pill to pill. Fucking hell.
They're going to ramp up all of that.
Did he say oxycodone?
While all this is happening.
Yeah, that's just the start of it. And also, this seems to be, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about other than we shouldn't get in a pissing match. We shouldn't piss off China. Is that what he's saying? We should let them have Taiwan. Otherwise, they're going to flood us with fentanyl and not give us insulin. Is that right? Am I getting this? Because I'm not quite sure what the fuck he actually thinks.
Then the
if at all,
Biden administration is going to sit there, and Xi Jinping is going to pick up that phone. Maybe there's a summit, and he's going to say to Biden, "Here's what you're going to agree to."
Okay, yeah. So why hasn't he done that so far? Considering the situation they're in with their technology and their economy, he's just waiting. Here's what you're going to do when we invade Taiwan. You're going to call off those, you're going to remove your Marines, get them out of the way so we don't kill them that are already there. And you're going to pull out your subs and everything around there that we can't see, that we hope aren't there, but probably are. and you're going to tell the Australians and the Japanese and the Indians and the Malaysians and the Vietnamese to stand down and let us have total hegemony over the South China Seas and claim their territorial waters for our own. Or else, I'm going to show the world a picture of your son smoking in a bathtub.
And here are the concessions we're going to take. And they're going to say they're going to renegotiate trade deals. They're going to renegotiate joint ventures. By the way, any U.S. entity that does business in China has to do so through a joint venture. So let's say you're Disney. Let's say you're Apple. If you want to work in China, Elon Musk, Tesla.
Uh-huh.
If you want to work.
Yeah, except, like, interestingly enough, Apple and Disney both, they work through a joint venture through Foxconn, which is a Taiwanese company. And it gets around the strict rules that the CCP has because they consider Taiwan their own, even though Foxconn doesn't operate under their rules. So it's kind of a catch-22 that they don't realize they're in. Disney has a distribution, like, their deal in China is a, you know, their like joint venture is a distribution thing. It's not about the actual making of the fucking movie. Tesla, on the other hand, he's just blowing Xi Jinping every
in China.
week.
You have to do so through a joint venture with a local Chinese company. That means that whatever you're doing, right? This is why Foxconn is the manufacturer for Apple.
It's Taiwanese.
Whatever you're doing.
By the way, all right, this is why the elites. Tell me again. Wait, hold on. The elites in Foxconn. Foxconn. Hold on. So let me get this right. If it's, you know, if you're working with Foxconn, you're basically in bed with the CCP, right? You know, even running this deal, and that's a generalized idea. Oh shit, right? I forgot. That's the whole thing. Oop. Trump promised this Wisconsin town a manufacturing boom. It never arrived. Remember this? A glass globe on the Foxconn campus in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin this month. President Donald Trump announced a multi-billion-dollar deal with Foxconn in 2017, and the town spent millions to clear land for a tech and manufacturing campus. 30-minute drive from the site of this week's Republican debate in Milwaukee stands a mysterious glass globe that has come to symbolize the failure of one Republican frontrunner and former President Trump's big promises. The 100-foot-tall sphere is one of a few buildings on a large empty plot of land bigger than 3 Central Parks. The globe's owner, Taiwanese manufacturer Foxconn, calls it a high-performance computing data center, but local residents say they've seen few signs of life at the building. Last year, a local catering company announced that the outside groups could rent the space for events. Cool. All right, screw it, CSL. We're moving in there. That's enormous. Look how big it is. Yeah. Oh, this will be good. And maybe we can move it and put it on top of the missile silo. We'll work on it. Yeah. So sorry, what were you saying about Foxconn, dipshit? What was that again?
So through a joint venture with a local Chinese company. That means that whatever you're doing, this is why Foxconn is the manufacturer for Apple. Whatever you're doing.
Foxconn, a Taiwanese company, which would disappear if China attacked Taiwan. That deal would be void, and it would no longer exist because Foxconn, the company itself, is incorporated in Taiwan, specifically as a Taiwanese company, not as a Chinese company.
China's getting a cut. China's getting cut in on the deal. And you know what else they're going to do?
What else are they going to do? This motherfucker has no idea how any of these sentences ends.
They're going to ask for a renegotiation of intellectual property laws. They're going to ask for a renegotiation of their ability to. When are they going to do this? What the ever-loving shit?
When is this? Is this going to be when they attack Taiwan? Is that what the premise of this is? Because look, I didn't cut this clip. He cut this clip. This is his whole argument. 5 minutes and 31 seconds. What?
Copy U.S. products and start flooding them on the world market. They're going to ask for a renegotiation of all of this.
And they're not going to get it.
Because they're going to say, we're sick of it.
And we'll go, so fucking what?
We want your industries to fail. And we want you to crumble. Because
and they, Is this going to be written into the trade deal?
We don't care about your industries and your elites anymore because we don't want you to be the senior partner in this relationship anymore.
You don't want you to be?
To fail. And we want you to crumble because we don't care about your industries and your elites anymore because we don't want you to be the senior partner in this relationship anymore. We want to be the senior partner.
That, I gotta say, that's fucking amazing. That is, I have, in all the ignorant China bullshit vids we've seen on this channel that I've gone over, where I've had to walk through some of the beats of these things or where people are backwards, I have never seen one so devoid of content, of actual, like an actual fucking thought. That's amazing to me. Never were so many words used to say so little in so long a time. Yeah, it is right up there with Trump's, this guy, hold on. See if it'll play.
They're going to be a country no more. I actually think it will not, it will be a country no more.
Yeah, it's that kind of a brain fart. Maybe what we're seeing, and it's entirely possible, maybe what we're seeing is why the right freaked out when they ran out of Adderall. Remember the big, oh, fuck, there's no Adderall, god damn it. Like, there was such this wig out for these, off-label users. And I guess this is what happens. This is like if they made Limitless, Limitless, the TV series kept going, and they were just like, let's do like a Flowers for Algernon kind of idea where he took it for a while and now he's back to being stupid. Yeah, it's going scarce. I don't think the country will go scarce no more. Fucking hell. Just and this is Jack Posobiec. He's on RAV. This is Steve Bannon's channel. And I gotta say, I am often, but he's one of the most frequently cited members of this sort of intellectual dark web, alt-right brain trust, right? I haven't watched a bunch of his stuff, but if this is indicative, fucking hell. Yeah. Man. Call it. What? Call it. If the rule brought you to where you are, how good is the rule? All right. Now, this is another, there's been a lot of bullshit, Civil War talk lately. And is it totally representative of what he's like? Of what? There's been a bunch of this, Civil War's coming. If Trump goes to jail, it's fucking Civil War. No, it isn't. Is there a danger that some lone wolf assholes will pop off and kill some of their fellow Americans? Something that the Russians and the Chinese would love to do, or the Iranians would love to do, but they're, too far away to pull it off, so these fuckers can walk into a grocery store and just shoot a bunch of strangers. Is that a possibility? Yeah. Will it be a full-blown civil war? No. There is no organizing force. And there is no intrinsic mission plan or ideology behind it other than but Trump. And the vast majority of Republicans would turn on that kind of an idea immediately because this is one of the areas where, I've told you that the Russian oligarchs, one of the reasons why we can be pretty sure they're not going to nuke the world is because they're a bunch of hedonistic assholes who just want, pleasure cruises, yachts, money, hookers, blow, vodka. They're that kind of people. They're not looking to the afterlife for their pleasure. They want it now, right? Well, thank God Americans and very much the MAGA crowd are like that. Because they'd love to have a horribly violent civil war and kill half of the population of the United States, but NASCAR's next week. God damn it. and I got tickets, and it's just gonna be good. And then Aerosmith's touring, and I want to get in there to see there. And I got the and I just that part I ordered for my truck just came in. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? That's why. Meanwhile, though, the sorry, I should probably do that right. Give me 1 second. Where are you? There we go. Yeah, that's not the one. Yeah. Gorka. So it's not surprising that Gorka has is playing this for clicks. I mean, everybody loves the graphics looking like, oh, it's coming. Oh, it's on its way. It's gonna happen. It's so exciting. He's filling in for Rob Shit, I guess, in this clip. But here we go now.
Welcome, dear friends. I'm Sebastian.
I'm Gorka.
Sebastian Gorka, your guest host tonight in for Rob Schmidt.
It's pronounced shit. Thank you very much.
When do you really understand how much you love something?
You know what it is? It's when I roll over and my hand flops and it's not there, and I'm like, oh my God, where is it? And then I go, oh, and my guitar is over in the corner on the stand.
Well, as the old song goes, only after it's gone, only when you've lost it.
That's not how the song goes. Don't know what you got till it's gone, yeah. Don't know what it is. I did so wrong. How? That's how it goes. As the old song goes, Gorka. As the song goes, only as the thing you held so dear is in the rearview mirror, then shall you know that it was once very important to you, and that you once held it very perfectly. Gorka! Gorka! So,
my dear friends, America is on the brink right now, and it's probably going to get worse.
Nah, I think we're just edging because it's sexier. Sometimes, you don't need to go all the way. Sometimes you just want to get right up to the edge of it and
the next 14 months.
Yes, the next 14 months, give or take 3. Give or take a century and a half. Who can say Gorka? Sorry.
How do I know that?
You don't.
Well, let's just
it's in the teleprompter.
remember what it was like just a few years ago. Doesn't 2016 seem like a lifetime away?
Yeah. It was a lot. We were a lot more sane back before the orange dipshit got in there. Sure.
How easily we forgot what life was like back then.
Yeah, I know. When Barack Obama was still president before Trump was sworn in January of 2017. Mm-hmm. You didn't mean to say that, did you? Gorka!
Under Donald Trump. Will you come?
No. Under 2016, we weren't, quote, under Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, I have never been under Donald Trump. I don't serve at the leisure as a citizen to my president like he's some fucking monarch.
Come with me and reminisce for a while. Let me
Jesus Christ. A trip back in time.
take you back to the day of the inauguration of the 45th President of the United States. In his inauguration speech,
Yeah, with the empty bleachers and the tractors and
he gave a somber picture at first about the
yeah, it was all doom and gloom. Yeah.
dark America that we had inherited, created really by those who hate our country.
But had apparently up to that point managed to hate our country into a really good spot.
But afterwards, the mood was jubilant. Remember the parade?
I was in D.C. It wasn't jubilant. He was sweating buckets, fuckwad.
Talking with Melania. Oh, I remember the mood that day, the parade on the way to the White House. Then that night, the many inauguration balls that...
I remember the balls most of all. Yes, if I miss anything, it's the balls.
We held. But it wasn't just about celebration.
You held the balls? I hope you asked permission. Nah, it was Trump's inauguration. Nobody asked permission. Just grab them by the testicles.
It was about making America great again.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to do it apparently, so he'll do it next time though. A do-over. That's what every president needs.
And Saturday morning, the next day, yes, the inauguration was on a Friday. The next day, on Saturday, we got down to work. Together.
We?
In the Trump administration, we unleashed first the fuel of America, the lifeblood of fossil fuels, opening up the Keystone Pipeline extension.
It's Canadian. It's the Keystone XL pipeline is to bring Canadian oil to market. It's not American oil, dum-dum. That's your leadoff. That's where you're putting your flag in the ground.
Shale and fracking fields to feed the engines of growth for our great nation.
And the amount being produced now is actually higher than then. And
it wasn't just about the economy. After 8 years of treating our military like a science experiment for left-wing ideologues, we reinvested in our troops, in our heart.
Hold on. The whole quote-unquote woke shit didn't start till like midway through Trump's presidency in a response to his piggish, disgusting attitude towards anybody who served that wasn't right out of central casting.
Hardware, so they could execute the only mission of merit, the only mission that matters, killing America's enemies.
Oh, I'm so macho. I'll kill them. I'll kill them all. Well, I won't. Somebody else will. But I'll watch. Well, I'll be in the other room. I get a little queasy at these things. Gorka.
And under their new commander-in-chief, Donald Trump,
that's not Donald Trump, by the way. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump is orange.
That's exactly what we tasked them to do. President Trump committed us to the destruction of the caliphate of ISIS.
And then he wanted to get out. And it's when they were like 70%, and the generals were like, no, keep at it. We'll get the rest of them. He didn't want to stay the whole time.
And in less than 6 months, that's exactly what happened. The physical...
Yeah, so ISIS gone, right? ISIS is gone. ISIS, you took care of all of it. ISIS is totally destroyed. That's why ISIS was actually the source of the suicide bomber that attacked the airport in Kabul.
The physical caliphate was annihilated by us.
The physical caliphate. Because there never was one. It's an idea that they control certain land.
Special operators. Then, when it came to the national sovereignty of the continental United States, true patriots, my friends like Tom Homan and Mark Morgan, were tasked to find and deport illegals and to build that big, beautiful wall. America was finally back. The factories were humming and
no, they weren't.
Store shelves were full.
Yes, of goods from a foreign country. What are you talking about?
We witnessed record low unemployment.
Yeah, until now, when that record has been broken.
The lowest we've ever seen for Hispanics, minorities.
No, it isn't. Oh, no.
And for women, lowest.
Hot pot 30% off? And Chinese people were having to have a noodle sale. They were going downhill. Oh, that was the thing. Like while white people's groceries were we're going through the roof. We could just get anything we want. Chinese people were having hot noodles at 30% off just to get by. And we removed the rules of engagement that Obama had put in so that the civilian deaths went up 80% in the first year.
Since record keeping began, the stock market
Also, I don't know what
exploded.
the Chinese restaurants became empty. Who the fuck is putting these pictures up?
Constantly breaking new records until everyone's pensions and 401ks were the strongest we've seen in our lifetimes.
Well, no, they're actually stronger now. The stock market and the pension, the funds have more money now than then, dummy. I mean, they just do. I don't even know why. Who the fuck is he talking to? Who the fuck who is? I'm so confused. Did they not go outside? Does the audience, it might be, does the Newsmax audience never leave their house?
These are just statistical and empirical truths of life.
They're not. They're not statistical or empirical at all.
For Americans under the presidency of Donald J. Trump. Yet, what was the response from the establishment to this unfettered success and the scions of corporate legacy media? I'm not going to tell you. Well, let's just listen to them.
Okay, so we're going to create a false narrative, just bullshit our way through this idea that Trump had the best everything and just call it, right? And now you're going to post a bunch of videos, in theory, I have not pre-watched this, that are going to show that, all he was trying to do was help America, and all they would do is attack him. They never gave him any credit.
Speak for themselves.
Why doesn't President Trump condemn racism? His own words and actions tell you why. He's a racist.
Is Donald Trump the least racist person you've ever met?
And by the way, Trump said of himself, this is after Charlottesville.
Trump is vying for the most racist person that I've met these days.
I do believe he's a racist.
Donald Trump has often said he cherishes women, but a national poll early this month showed that 70% of women say they have a negative view of Donald Trump.
We have to just say the way he treats the female reporters is different.
And yes, all that is true. And
racist, hates women, Islamophobe. That was just the beginning.
Oh, yeah. No. You left out the part where the one guy was just citing a poll where 70% of women think he's awful. That's not the media mistreating him. That's the media pointing out the fact that women don't like his nasty ass.
Then on it went to what? Oh, he's a white supremacist? He's a Nazi?
An orange supremacist.
And then he's working with Vladimir Putin? As if the incessant...
No, he's not working with him. I don't give him that much credit. For Vladimir Putin.
Calumny of multiple smear campaigns running 24/7 were not enough. The Democrats and the permanent bureaucracy here in D.C. used every weapon they could deploy against the most successful president of the modern age.
Okay, first of all, no. If you'll notice, he was impeached after that top one. He was already voted out, fuckhead. And the Ukraine one, again, happened after the Mueller report had completely come out. He thought he dodged it and he was like, fuck, they can't get me for anything. I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want now. Those are both unforced errors on his part.
From the illegal, illicit, undercover Operation Crossfire Hurricane, spying on
not at all
the presidential campaign. And
no. Spying on the Russians and finding out that Mike Flynn and others amongst Trump's campaign were in contact with the Russians. I'm not comfortable with a situation where, as long as you're running for office, you can commit as many crimes as you want because you suddenly it's the opposite of the third rail. They always talk about the third rail in politics, like the area you cannot touch. This would be the opposite. It'd be the like base. Basically, if you have your hand on, if you're just running for office, you can commit any crime you want because anybody comes after you, you can just claim they're trying to stop your political movement.
And then us in the White House to the Mueller probe. After that, that wasn't enough. One impeachment, then a second impeachment.
Yeah, but again, they didn't impeach him randomly. He did something. Had he not done that thing, there would not have been an impeachment.
And then, of course, COVID arrived from China.
Oh, it just arrived, did it? It had nothing to do with the fact that Trump cut security funding for the Wuhan lab and allowed gain-of-function research to start up again when he became president. It just arrived like fucking clockwork.
The perfect cover.
No. I think the perfect cover wouldn't require 1 million dead people.
Under which to mail out 80 million ballots to make sure that that man could be removed.
All right, asshat. You do realize they're showing video of people dying from this fucking disease while you sit there and go, it was all a big charade just so that they could steal an election. This month, like, you're showing videos of actual human beings who fucking died or were permanently scarred. Oh, my God. This motherfucker worked in the White House. Yuck. Gorka.
In whichever way was necessary.
Whatever the fuck that means.
From his position in the Oval Office.
What? Say that again?
The perfect cover.
Right.
Under which to mail out 80 million ballots. To make sure that that man could be removed in whichever way was necessary from his position in the Oval Office.
Well, he was ultimately voted out.
At the same time, in classic Alinskyite fashion,
he's going to George Floyd.
Violent mobs were unleashed, leveraging the...
Unleashed. The violent mobs were unleashed because that's what it was. Yeah, people who were upset about George Floyd were basically dogs cut off the leash. They're always like that, folks. They're always like that. But sometimes the left-wing elite just cut them loose and let them tear through America like the animals that they are. Fuck this dude, I'm done. I can't. Like, this is just so lame and gross. And the fact that this motherfucker wants to sell the idea that America's on the brink of whatever, when he literally doesn't have any of it. If you were going to do a segment called America on the Brink, first of all, almost every day, if you just go across like local news, B-roll footage from local news, let me tell you, you get the right sound editor and cut it tight enough, you can make it look like the world is falling apart every fucking day, no matter what's happening. At the lowest crime point in American history, because a country with 340 million people, there's always something going on. You could cut a video together and assert that, like, don't go outside. It is fucking dangerous. You're going to die if you try to go to the grocery store. Anytime. Any fucking time. Even at, like, the absolute, what's effectively statistical zero of crime. And yet, he can't even throw that shit together. Like, Glenn Beck does this sometimes. He'll take recent, some shooting, like a cop shooting, or, there were 3 cops that were ambushed by a guy at he wrecked his car, and then he waited till they showed up, and he had a gun in his pants, and he just shot 3 cops last week. And I didn't see Glenn talk about this, but I'm sure he did at one point. But that video itself, you could use on, and play that clip and then come back and then say, see, that's what's happening everywhere. Everywhere it's like that. Everywhere. And then go to another one and another one and another one. And all you would need, like, 5 30-second videos of something. And they don't even have to be fucking fresh. They don't even have to be new. And you could make the case that it looks like the world is falling apart. You know, that America's, being destroyed from the inside. All that. It would be real easy. But he can't even fucking do that. This asshole literally has to take all these, like, Newsmax fans down a trip down memory lane to, like, wasn't it nice when Trump was all of a sudden magically president? And then they treated him so bad. And then pretend that the death of George Floyd didn't create an organic response, that it was a manufactured one, just like COVID, so that they could steal the election. Like, again, the suspension of disbelief necessary to buy into this crap is like, I like conspiracy theories, and these guys are giving them a bad rep. It's pissing me off. I can't even believe aliens built the pyramids anymore, because they'll turn it into some way to make it racist or gross. All right, now, I don't know how long this one is, but this is, because everybody's on break and a bunch of other people are, kind of moving in to fill the void, and it is a void, let me tell you, even when these people do show up. There's this guy, Benny Johnson. We've looked at Benny a couple times before, twice before, something like that. Anyways, so this, there's a new thing about, like, make oh my god faces, and that's the way you sell that's your thumbnail shit. And this is definitely on the right side of this. See Trump over here? That's definitely an AI Trump. That's a real Biden with a finger over him or something. It might be something else. Anyways, the Trump yelling is very strange. But anyways, this is the wall, and the idea is like, I caught Biden building Trump's wall. Joe does not want you to see this is the name of the video. This is very much along the clickbait lines of Rusty Trombone. Yeah, there we go.
Welcome to Yuma, Arizona, the border with America and Mexico. Maybe you remember.
It's a slat fence.
Remember this bad boy you've seen
the slat fence
in your wildest dreams or nightmares is Donald Trump's wall. It is impossible to climb.
No, it isn't.
This wall, not only is it flaming hot, ouch, it burns the fingers, 100 degrees outside.
To our border report this morning, we're live in Naco, Arizona, about 2 hours south of Tucson. That's where we find our Allie Bradley. Allie, you have some new video that you'll only see, that we'll only be able to show our viewers here on News Nation.
Yeah, Adrian, you're exactly right. In a scene that you're only going to hear, and you can kind of see you can see the here. Didn't really think that they were going to communicate with us at all, but they were pretty brazen. They didn't really care that we were here. So we started communicating with them. I asked them if they had more migrants over there. They said yes. They started just sending them over one by one. You can see them literally being lowered down from the rope. You can.
Yep, it's just impervious. I don't know how it's genius. Yikes. Oh, sorry about that. It's terrible. Where is this? It's over here. Yeah. Nobody can climb it.
Here's something interesting. A brand
no.
new wall. This is the Joe Biden wall. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. He said not one more foot of that Donald Trump racist wall.
Well, I think it's the slat fence part, because I gotta say, in all fairness, oh, that video's super loud. I'm sorry. Beg your pardon. I don't know why. There you go.
We build.
There will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
Yeah, not that shitty slat fence. By the way, that's a port. That's a gate. For the record, that's not wall. That's gate. Also, I gotta say the design on it looks way better.
But here we are. I only bring you this news
because you're an idiot and because you don't know the difference between wall and gate. That's amazing. How do you get out of your house without falling into the bathtub?
To show you that he is a dirty liar and that Joe Biden is in fact building this wall.
All right. So now what? The maggots should vote for him?
But looks like it may still be effective. We're going to find...
Fuck. You mean better than the part where people could just get over it with a rope?
Find out today. This is Benny on the border. Let's go.
Man, have you ever been to Yuma, Arizona? It is out in the middle of the
Yes, I have.
The desert on the border with Mexico, and it is hot. You have to really want. Patrol rendered themselves to the Border Patrol.
Welcome station. There you go. Water. It's a welcome mat. It's a welcome mat.
After touring the Obama-Biden welcome centers for criminal migrants into our country, and after watching
for criminal migrants, so people just don't, again, I don't know anybody who thinks that people should get a death sentence simply for breaking that kind of a law. But apparently, Benny Johnson, in his deep Christian beliefs, thinks that they should die of heat stroke if they try to cross because they're breaking the law.
Our U.S. Border Patrol act as an Uber service for more criminal migrants into our country.
No, they don't take them to a friend's house or something. They take them to incarceration.
We went to go tour Donald Trump's Great Wall. Donald Trump's
Great Wall
was incredibly effective and
how so? Citation
stopped
needed.
Illegal immigration cold into this nation.
No, it didn't. It did not stop illegal immigration cold into this nation by anyone's measure. If it did, how the fuck were they coming in during the time when Biden opened the border?
Donald Trump's Great Wall was not completed because of feckless, backstabbing Judas Republicans in the House and Senate,
and of course Mexicans who refused to pay for it.
Therefore was left to rot in the middle of the desert. Of course,
metal doesn't rot.
Joe Biden hasn't put
not in the traditional sense.
Up one more foot.
It rusts.
Of Donald Trump's wall, or has he? This is where things get very, very interesting.
If you'll notice, that's the middle part. That's the gate. All right.
Hey, what is this? It's Joe Biden's border wall being...
Which I gotta say looks way fucking better. You know what? I'm gonna go with, I think Biden should replace the whole wall with this design. I think this is great. The slat fence obviously doesn't work. That looks way more modern. You don't have to kill anybody to do it. The barrier over the top of it that keeps people from climbing up or going down on the other side. It seems very helpful.
Completing Donald Trump's wall. Donald Trump's wall is the rusty red.
Yeah, the shitty design, the crap. Yeah, we get it. And Biden's the new, shiny, modern, like, it looks like something out of Jurassic Park. And Trump's looks like, I don't know, like a box of long matchsticks.
And this is
painted red.
Joe Biden's new style of wall, new style of corruption. Who knows who got paid off here?
Yeah, it's you could tell that where Trump's wall, they used every ounce of every dollar of every material that went in there to make these concrete-filled diamond-shaped columns, and then weld some steel flat across the top of it. Nobody shaved any off that. Meanwhile, look at the materials that go into this thing. Where the fuck do you think it's going?
But they are building it, baby. Here's the crazy part, is that there was already a contract that was signed and completed by the government in order to build this wall. Biden stopped that, and he got a new contract to build his wall. Hey Joe, life comes at you fast.
What does that mean? Nobody knows what you mean. Life, what are you talking about? Most of what Trump did was repair barrier. Most of his repairs sucked ass.
Indeed, Joe Biden is completing Donald Trump's wall. Might look a little bit different, but
might look a little bit different. It looks better. Looks way fucking better. I gotta say, it's fucking impressive as shit. I was not expecting this today. Not on this Labor Day, ladies and gentlemen. I was not expecting Benny Johnson to play a video where I think maggots would even go, fucking, I don't know, I kind of like Biden's wall design better. What the fuck? Did they show this to Trump? Did they even... Because I gotta say, you could see through it. You can't, like, you can see what people are up to. Like, if you're driving along Trump's wall, you can't see through it. Like, until you're right up next to it. You can't see diagonally through it. But this thing you can see everywhere. Like it's like a fucking fish tank. It's I'm impressed. Yeah. Looks like America.
Seems to be just as effective. We went up to it ourselves, saw it ourselves, and we wouldn't know how to climb it or get over it.
Yeah, but that's true of, I mean, I don't even know if your pants are on the right direction.
How exactly did this wall get built?
So 19 months ago, Secretary Mayorkas came here. We gave him a tour of the Yuma area sector, talked about some of the challenges. And after he had seen with his own eyes how it affects our community on every level, he agreed to close up 9 of 11 sections of the fence.
Oh, the fence. Oh, yeah. Okay. The fence, was it? Yes, the fence that had been slated to be repaired that were somehow not done by Trump. Why were these big fucking gaps in Trump's wall? Why did he, when he was fucking president, because we know that Biden didn't build any more of Trump's wall with his materials. What the fuck is with these giant holes in the border? Did he, again, stupid or he did it on purpose?
And they came up with some sort of a
Biden terminating border wall contract. Maybe because they didn't work?
Layer chain link system that was set on top of a foundation that was above the ground. Whereas when you look at the Trump wall, that foundation, the footings, if you will, are 10 feet into the ground.
So wait a second, if they...
Yeah, but it's by the river. They can't tunnel into that area. Who gives a shit? You're not going to be able to tunnel. All right.
Stopped building Donald Trump's wall, but they had all of the materials to complete it. Where the hell is Donald Trump's wall? Well, we found it, and you wouldn't believe what's around it. Another wall! Joe Biden's building multiple walls in the desert. This one's to protect Donald Trump's wall.
When
that's a fence.
We're talking about putting it up, they actually just moving it and bringing it down here and putting it inside of a wall. Because why? It was getting stolen, so walls work, right? So they put the wall in.
That's a fence. It's inside the fence. Fences work, sure. It's not that they don't work. It's why you're putting them up.
They put a wall around the wall because the wall was disappearing.
Human trafficking is the...
Okay. Because people inside the United States were stealing it. Let's be abundantly clear. It wasn't being... the wall pieces weren't being stolen by Mexicans. Jesus Christ, if we find out one of these cartels has a bunch of, like, Trump wall slats around one of their compounds, it'll be hilarious.
Modern day slave trade. These people are slavers. They traffic in human beings.
No, they traffic human beings. That's not the same thing as trafficking in human beings. And don't try to write like that slavery is the same thing as paying to have someone trafficked, someone transported, and that they have to either carry drugs or something else, because what's really happening is that they're trafficking drugs by using people who want to get across the border. So that you can pay to go across or you can carry something for me. That's how it works. America does not have a giant fucking appetite for Mexican and Guatemalan and Honduran slave workers. Seriously. No one walks 1,800 miles to be a slave, stupid.
It's important to sort of put that punctuation on it.
Because if you don't, people realize, you're like, if you don't say it with exuberance, people might think about what you're saying and go, oh, this doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
So by facilitating this trade, Joe Biden is facilitating the largest human slave trade in existence.
Where are these slaves working? Because I know some of them went to Mar-a-Lago, so...
Now, Joe Biden is an evil person for doing this, and Donald Trump's wall didn't even stop these evil cartels.
Right, because it was ass, right?
From engaging in this trade. There's a spot in the wall where they used a blowtorch to carve it up.
Right, so the design sucks. Gotcha. And they could do that again, I presume?
And to shove people underneath. Johnny Yuma showed us in detail and explained how it all happened.
They wanted to get large groups of people across, and so right here along the border where you see this different colored steel, they actually cut this wall, and they had vans here disguised as agricultural production vans, And as they came across, they gave them a hard hat and they gave them a safety vest so that they looked like they were ag guys. These are people that were being smuggled for whatever purpose.
They were getting smuggled. Let's be abundantly clear. Like, this is kind of important that these motherfuckers pretend to give a shit. First of all, they don't give a fuck. They think, like, send these people back to Mexico. Leave them in Mexico. Stay in Mexico. That was the whole thing. Well, the cartels are slave traders, and they can't sell these people into the United States, which is what they're alleging. What makes you think they won't just enslave them right where they are? Why don't they just put them in a fucking drug facility and make them make fentanyl? What the fuck are you talking about? They're smuggling these people across because these people are paying them or providing a service like carrying drugs or something else to get into the United States so that they can be free and on their own. It's not the same fucking thing. And it's so odd that this is the argument. This is so fucking weird.
But there were men, women, and children that were being forced through that small hole.
Which is, you know, look at Benny's face. Really? A small hole?
We've got cameras that are on every third pole. None of this has been energized. This was all the infrastructure that was put in under Trump so that we had cameras every 200 feet. And on our southern border, where we have more narcotics and more of the bad actors coming across, in those areas, all of the infrastructure with the lights and the cameras were removed. And you have to ask yourself why.
So where would they get through? Because I've been seeing this Trump wall for miles.
Yeah, well, at the end of the Trump wall, it abruptly stops when we come to a reservation.
And there we have it. This is the part where the folks are going to have a rough time explaining how we build a wall between a reservation and Mexico.
Where we have a sovereign nation that has decided that they do not want a Trump wall.
You've heard of the end of the road? Well, welcome to the end of Trump's wall. An Indian reservation means that Trump's wall can no longer go forward from...
So you're saying it's... I guess the next video coming out from this dickhead will be, is Biden a secret Navajo?
From this point, and what do we have left? Well, kind of looks like D-Day.
So every night, starting at about midnight, people start lining up here, waiting to be brought across. They again will start discarding everything that they have on them.
We've got tampons and Q-tips and some hygiene products.
Again, some of these people, if they have...
Yes, the sign of a master criminal. Tampons, obviously, that's the sign of El Guapo, the terrorist.
A criminal past, don't want to be correctly identified.
By their menstrual cycle.
So they rip up their IDs. Many of them will discard their money, which is an indication of a country of origin. Even a 1 peso.
How much does it cost to get smuggled into America?
The minimum charge right now is around $8,000, and we have been...
Wait, so let me get this straight, dum-dum. People, human beings, are paying someone $8,000 to enslave them. I absolutely do not understand capitalism, apparently. I am completely confused. That's fab. I'm going to say that sounds very different from, say, the 1850s around there. I'm just saying. Sounds very... So it is your premise that people are paying $8,000 to someone to enslave them.
Been told that it is as high as 70 to 80,000, for example, somebody from China or another country, especially.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, they got a lot more spending money, so if they want to be enslaved.
Interest country. One of the other things that you're going to see everywhere here, Benny, is the SIM cards. Everybody takes their old SIM card out. You'll see a new one or an old one. It was the most interesting thing that I ever found, and I forgot that I was just walking along like this, and I was picking up different things that I found on the ground, and I actually found a USB memory stick and I decided to see what was on it, so I unplugged my computer, and it was pictures of the Mexican embassy in Cuba. So it was pictures of every room and then documents of all of their different bills, etc. So turned that into the sheriff. But
so that guy was trying to smuggle information that might have been helpful to the United States, I guess, against Cuba?
Really interesting. So there's a dog that runs around out there, and if you hear him, generally he's probably waiting over by where everybody's crossing, and he'll accompany people up. He'll actually run ahead and he'll let Border Patrol know that people are coming across. We've called him Yui, and he's been here since Biden took office. And he's a great little mascot.
Dog's MAGA.
He is.
Look at this thing. It's a monster. It's 30 feet tall. Iron. You ain't getting past this, baby.
They get past it all the fucking time. They get around it. They cut through it. We've seen 4 different fucking versions of this. Good Lord.
The problem with Donald Trump's wall is a matter of timing. You see, they didn't end up having enough time to complete the wall. It stops.
According to Donald Trump, he completed it. According to him, it was completely done. He was going to add more.
And becomes this. It's only going to...
Whoa, fuckwad. You can't just reverse your fucking shot and pretend you're somewhere else.
They didn't end up...
You're at a Native American reservation. We don't, as the United States, have the right to do it. Now, we could put a fucking wall around the reservation. You want to open up that fucking can of worms?
Having enough time to complete the wall stops. And becomes this. It's only going to... We're only going to solve this greatest human smuggling, trafficking, humanitarian crisis.
Yeah, smuggling crisis, humanitarian smuggling, human trafficking, trafficking of humans, fucking all those words that sound bad, that are very QAnon. To say all the QAnon words, the only way we're going to do this is a moat, oil, alligators, fire.
This with real solutions. That is not a real solution.
That's not U.S. land.
That's called an open border.
That's called... well, then bitch to the Navajo, fuckhead.
And is not secure.
It's estimated somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million people who have come into United States, not as give-ups, but people who have avoided detection, who are here for nefarious purposes. This was a pass-through for all of the 9/11 hijackers, where they were going from San Diego over to Tucson for their flight training. And what will it take before...
Wait, there's a border between San Diego and Tucson?
The Biden administration puts our safety and security at the forefront to secure our country.
When describing the human slave trade perpetuated by Joe Biden on the border...
Yes, it helps to point out that these folks aren't slaves. So let me get this straight. Are the terrorists slaves?
We often skip over the people who are most affected, which are the people who live on the border, the people who live in Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah, you can't compete with slave labor.
Headed into downtown Yuma, Arizona, and saw an old clapboard, Western-style main street straight out of a John Wayne Western. We went to Lute's Casino, which is a quirky American diner and dive.
Benny, can you read the sign at the bottom? Where who meets? Where the elite meet.
This looks elite.
It was awesome, man. The people there were excited to see us. We got to...
Even though the whole country's gone to hell, and
sit with the sheriff and talk with him about what's really going on.
What's really going on? Yep, there you go. There's a bunch of people who've been, and so is the entire staff enslaved? I'm just could use the 9/11 directors that come across southern border. Agreed, Cats Jam. Arguably they came from Canada.
The sheriff and the chief of police and his wife Olga.
How you doing, sir?
How much harm?
Olga? That sounds awfully close to Gorka.
Does make your responsibilities.
You know, when you got to go 50, 60 miles out in the middle of the desert, process a crime scene because cartels abandoned somebody out in the desert, and they die. Then you got to try to find out what country they're from. We got over 160 countries that have been across here. Doesn't make it easy.
Okay. First of all, do the cartels even know how to do business at all? Because they've got a perfectly good slave apparently, and they're just going to abandon them in the middle of nowhere. What are they? Are they setting them free? Are they? Again, this whole argument is horseshit. And the crime scene he's processing is the fact that somebody died because they were abandoned out there and there was no water for them. Meanwhile, earlier in this clip, if you remember, pro-life Benny was shocked that there was water available to people and a shack top so that they could hide from the sun.
Here on the front lines, why? It seems like there's a lot of common sense solution. We saw the wall sitting and rusting in the middle of the desert. They put up a wall to protect the wall that they won't put up.
No, you know what I was talking about?
Asking that for a long time.
Yeah.
Other than politics, being integrated into public safety.
Yeah.
Which should never happen.
Yeah. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris decided to come to Yuma to finally see the border. They've never seen the border, but they decided to kind of come here. What do you say to them?
Tell them the same thing everybody else does. I mean, it's intellectual avoidance. They would never come here. Because if they did, they would see their policies are failing miserably.
Donald Trump caught a load of hell for wanting to build a wall, $5 billion. They wouldn't give him the money. They said it's too expensive. Here we are, rounding the corner on $200 billion to Ukraine's border.
Oh, fuck you, dude. This isn't about the border. These are people who are in an active war zone. Rape squads, dummy.
How does that make you feel?
How does that make you feel? I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just pretending that's a thing.
Since you're on the front line of this war.
What they need to do, I don't care what political party it is.
Yeah.
If the boots on the ground say this is what we need geographically to secure our border, then that's their job to support their law enforcement.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank
you. By the way, kudos to that sheriff for not taking the fucking bait and just kind of giving the kind of answer you would get from local law enforcement. Now, the shiny dude right here is about to fucking snap and wishes he would say something political and doesn't know why Benny's not asking him.
People would like to hear your opinions.
You know what? I don't really care if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Yeah, you kind of do. I'm guessing you kind of do.
If you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter.
Yeah, you do.
Or if you hate the wall or if you love the wall. If you are a human being, you know that what's going on our southern border is wrong. You know this is the greatest slave trade in human...
Again, what the fuck is this argument? Who are these slaves being traded to? But here's a good idea. If there's a huge demand for slaves in the United States, get at it, motherfucker. What are you talking about? And even still, like, I mean, there are active slave trades going on in the world right now. Eritrea and like what's going on in Niger right now. There's a lot of awful happening in the world. This ain't it. This is just people sneaking across the border to try and get a fucking job.
History happening currently right now.
No, it isn't. Not even fucking close. Like, this is just a cartoonishly bad argument.
Now, evil people are making a massive profit off the misery of other human beings. And that...
Well, the massive profit apparently is what they're getting for what people will pay them to get into the United States and stay there.
That is morally wrong, no matter where you come from, no matter what colors are on your political banner. We are all part of the same race, the human race, and we should be in favor of human beings.
Right, so why the fuck if somebody's lost in the desert when there's clearly gaps in, in native sovereign land, and somebody might wander through there and then they bite off more than they can chew and they're drinking, they're dying, they're about to drink sand. You just want them to die. Because they're from a section of the human race we could do without, I guess.
Being treated better than slaves, and that's what's happening right now on the border.
Wait, what?
Massive profit off the misery of other human beings, and that is morally wrong, no matter where you come from, no matter what colors are on your political banner. We are all part of the same race, the human race, and we should be in favor of human beings being treated better than slaves, and that's what's happening right now on the border. You should be in favor.
No. No, the argument would be if cartels are enslaving people, then they absolutely could enslave them. If anything, the wall would stop people trying to get away from the cartels that would be enslaving them in the drug trade in Mexico. You're just setting up a wall at the exit.
Favor of us having operational control of our own borders, because if you don't have that, you don't have a nation. And you should be in favor of those who stand up against human smuggling, sex trafficking, and the monstrous activities here on the border, and the people that it truly affects.
Yeah, check out the poster.
In favor of those who stand up against human smuggling, sex trafficking, and
check out the sorry, I have to lower it a little bit for you. Just the wall behind the sheriff. The timing's pretty spectacular.
And the monstrous activities here on the border, and the people that it truly affects are you and me.
Right, yeah, of course. Because we've got to be around people from other countries.
You can't have a safe nation without safe borders, and you can't have a moral nation or a nation that'll survive if you don't appreciate and value human life.
Right, so why the fuck would you mock the idea of leaving water for people?
Crazy that you have to say that in the year 2023, but...
Well, it's not crazy that people will say that. You don't have to say it, and also it's amazing that you actually... It's crazy that you think anybody believes you mean it.
Well, here we are. As Joe Biden is quietly saying, build the wall.
So what's the biggest difference between these two administrations? Well, one is acting as a taxi service for every migrant that comes across the border.
That crumbs across?
Number two, well, the color of their walls, actually, that they're putting up.
Well, and the quality, too. I'm telling you, the Biden wall, I gotta say, again, that's the thing that's going to stick out the most in this video, Benny. I don't think you're doing yourself any favors with your viewers. I think a lot of people are going to go, fuck, the Biden wall looks pretty fucking bitchin'. It probably got sensors in it, so you can't cut through this.
I've been shocked.
Who's this? This is a guy named Benny Johnson. He's like a low-res Ben Shapiro wannabe.
Shocked to find out that Joe Biden is, in fact, building a great big wall. Completing Donald Trump's Great Wall. Look at this thing. You ain't getting past it.
People get past it all the time.
But then the Joe Biden edition, silver and very cold to the touch, much like Joe Biden, but still, I think gets the job.
What the fuck what do you mean very cold to the touch? Like Joe Biden? What do you mean? First of all, that means that when you touched Trump, he was warm. Probably an infection. I'm going to go with fourth stage syphilis. Secondly, what?
I'm done. Why aren't they doing victory laps in the press about completing Trump's wall? I'll let you.
Because that's a gap in the fencing that was marked for repairs. The money that mostly came to a large portion of this wall came from repairs that were signed off on during the Obama-Biden presidency.
You decide. It's your boy Benny. See ya.
It's your boy Benny. See ya. Fucking hell. Allegedly a grown man. It's your boy Benny. See ya. Fucking, what is this, like, frat douche bullshit? Oh, God. That's painful. All right. Can I do one more quickie before we go? Because I want to see this. I'm curious about this one. Navarro is one of the people, Peter Navarro is one of the people who, is lumped in Donald Trump's war room during the insurrection and all that shit. And apparently he's got a concern that, and I quote, every single one of us are going to have legal bills in the millions. And I think he means every American because, they're only indicting Trump to get to the rest of us because they're going to pay off the national debt by making us all work in salt mines, hard labor, something. I don't know. I'm curious about this one.
Okay, well, the first thing is that...
it's that I hate myself and my life.
My legal bills just went up by another $500,000, so...
You have legal bills? I have... illegal bells. And if these pants were any looser, you'd hear them.
Anybody watching this right now, defendpeter.com, defendpeter.com.
Yeah, see, I went there, and maybe I went to .net or whatever, but it was gross.
On the website, it's my legal defense fund. I've been able to raise to date about $335,000. This case, however, has already cost over $500,000 in legal fees, and by the time...
Well, hey, I don't know what you're worried about. When you win, you sue the government for your legal fees. I mean, it's easy. Ask Donald Trump. This is ridiculous. These charges don't mean anything. What do you got to worry about? Just tell your lawyer. Tell your lawyer when this is all done, buddy, you're gonna get fucking paid. I just want a little bit of that scratch.
When the trial finishes, I expect those legal fees to hit $750,000.
And your book didn't sell? And you don't make a lot working on the War Room? Bannon's not sharing any of that Seinfeld or any of his Chinese dissident buddies' money with you? You couldn't, put a little marker on the yacht, maybe?
Yeah, defendpeter.com.
That sounds gross. I'm not...
I had the situational awareness to be able to go out and talk to the world via C-SPAN to help me there in my fundraising efforts, which I thought...
Did he lose a tooth?
Was...
dead center. It looks like he lost one right here.
Was a pretty useful thing to do, defendpeter.com. But here's the economic...
He did. He lost... Did that happen in jail, or did it just fall out from stress?
Economics of this. Just this week in the Washington Times, I did a column about the cost of what we call lawfare. Okay, what the Department of Justice is doing to me, to Donald Trump, to Meadows, to Giuliani, to just poor folk electors in places like Georgia.
Yeah, except they're not electors. You do realize that. They weren't electors. You assholes dragged them into this. They bought your bullshit.
We're like 80 years old and don't...
Also, they can get a public defender.
Have the money. What they're doing is they're imposing ungodly legal fees.
No, they're not. If you get a public defender, your legal fees, no matter how big the case, won't be ungodly. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. The reason you're talking like, I got $350,000, I got $500,000 worth of legal fees, is because you actually fucking think you could afford this.
As a means of bullying, kowtowing, and getting us to bend to their knee.
Don't you bend your knee and kowtow to them? Maybe it's syntax.
And my legal bills, as I said in the clip, it's like, okay, so there's this great site, Give, Send, Go, right?
Yeah, fabulous. Especially when you try to attack our democracy and you need a fallback.
I set up a legal defense fund on that. I use the defendpeter.com because it's like a shortcut there. And it's been really just humbling to me to see the outpouring.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
And people who are just donating $5 and $10. I mean, if you can raise like 300 and something like 360,000 now, if you can do that in like $5 contributions, that's like, that warms your heart. I'm telling you. And I want to thank everybody who sent me money, as well as their prayers.
More of the money, though.
But this case is going to cost me, through trial, probably about $750,000, and then
This is basically just a fucking ad. Get over it.
Are going to have bills in the millions. Mike Flynn, for General Flynn, I love the guy. He spent $7 million trying to keep himself out of the DOJ prison.
Yeah, but in all fairness, it was like $5 million in legal fees and then $2 million to Trump for the pardon.
And This is lawfare. It's brass-knuckled lawfare. And Trump's legal bills are going to cost at least over $500 million.
Yeah, but he's got that. I mean, he's got that lying around. You heard him? Did you hear the thing? He's got like $9 billion. I don't know why he didn't pick up his and yours.
Okay.
No, not okay, but okay.
So that's what they're doing to us.
No, this is what you did to you.
You should get mad.
No, not feel okay.
And then you should get even.
What?
At the ballot box. So.
All right. Well, at least he said at the ballot box. Points Navarro.
I'm going to fight this fight.
Yeah, you might have. I'm thinking the fight you should have had was in your own fucking brain pan when you bought into this bullshit, so you wouldn't find yourself in this circumstance.
Look, men and women, young men and women, usually, have gone into uniform and been willing to sacrifice their lives.
Oh, fuck off. Stop it. You don't get D-Day points like you went over, you fought the Battle of the Bulge because you're going to, you're getting due process when you attack the fucking country.
For this Constitution in this country.
No, right. And you are in the situation you're in because you tried to circumvent the Constitution and this country for your own benefit, to turn their sacrifice into fucking dust. That's the problem. That's why I don't give a fuck how much this costs you, because that's the point. People sacrifice their lives for freedom and for us to have a constitutional republic where we pick our leaders through democracy time and time and time again. And you motherfuckers went, piss on them.
And the least I can do
is not try to steal that valor from them by undermining it.
Is to stand up for a constitutional principle, which I believe is one of the most important principles.
Yeah, what? You're going to plead the fifth?
For this nation to prosper. If we get what the Democrats want, it's going
We'll get infrastructure?
to be chaos.
No, if you haven't noticed, there were a couple of chaos candidates on the ballot last time, and Biden wasn't one of them.
Now, let me say one last thing on this.
Please.
This executive privilege issue. So as I said in the earlier segment, it was a great victory for the judge to rule that if a president invokes the privilege properly, that was the catchword.
Yeah, it is, because Trump didn't bother to pay fucking attention to anything.
Senior White House advisors like me can't be compelled to testify. That's news. That's big law. That's important. It means that going forward, Congress is now checked. They can't play that game.
Oh, fuck you then, dude. Well, then go tell them why. I don't know, like, then Biden can make Hunter a fucking White House advisor for 3 months and then write off every discussion they've ever had leading up to it and test the law for the next 8 years.
And all they have to make sure of on the other end, folks like me and the president, is that the privilege is properly invoked.
Right. Yeah, you'd need someone, what's the word, in office. You need them to be something Trump isn't. It's competent. That's the word. Competent. Yeah, competent. Yeah.
Now, I properly invoked the privilege. The president properly invoked the privilege. He seriously deliberated before he did so. We met all of the check marks, every single one the judge put down. I mean, I was on the stand for close to an hour. Went through 5 phone calls with the president, a personal visit to Mar-a-Lago, endless emails, phone calls with people like Liz Harrington, Susie Wiles, talking with the president. I mean, the case, it was.
Wait a minute. So he invoked executive privilege, and you don't have to testify. You invoked it. You both supposedly said it competently, and that the judge still made you repeat all this shit. So, I don't want to step on any toes here, but I call bullshit, if I may, because in general, it's just important. Let me get this over here. Hold on 1 second. Bullshit. There you go. It's good stuff. I don't know how the hell. Today is just a day of confusion. These people are just talking backwards today.
Denver, get ready for clip 3 here for a second. It was...
Oh, I'm ready for it.
It was overwhelming evidence that the privilege had been invoked and had been done properly. But the judge didn't buy that. Now play...
Wait a minute. What did we just... What? The fuck? Run that button. Hold on. I thought the judge agreed. What the shit are you talking about?
Phone calls with people you know, like Liz Harrington.
Oh, yeah, I know who she is. Why the fuck you're making those phone calls? Those are campaign calls from within the White House. That doesn't qualify as federal business. That's why you're fucked.
Susie Wiles talking with the president. I mean, the case, it was, Denver, get ready for clip 3 here for a second.
Oh, yeah.
It was overwhelming evidence.
Overwhelming evidence
that the privilege had been invoked.
That's right. Overwhelming. He went through it.
And it had been done properly.
That's right. And it had been done properly. Cool. Covered. Done. Got it.
The judge didn't buy that. Now play clip.
Fucking what? This is amazing to me. Is this what's happening in all of their cases? Jesus Christ.
3, because this is the other kind of piece of evidence, which for me, this is like, I'm just astonished at this particular allegation that the privilege wasn't invoked. But take a listen to this. There is not a single White House advisor who hasn't asserted executive privilege. It's not like I'm the only one who's done this. You go back to 2019. You had in the Mueller Russia hoax case, you had McGahn, Dearborn, Porter, Conway, Donaldson invoking the privilege, and immediately the president confirming that. You go to...
Okay. Again, I thought he was going to... I got to say, I thought from what he was throwing to, he was going to play a clip of someone else saying something. But he's just playing another clip of himself on C-SPAN coming out of court.
After the J6 committee was established, you had Meadows, Scavino, Patel, and Bannon issued subpoenas and the president invoking the privilege. And you had people repeatedly go before the J6 committee and assert the privilege, all without challenge. And here I am. People are supposed to believe that the privilege hadn't been invoked.
It sounds like to me, Trump only invoked it for the people he gives a fuck about.
Yeah, that just doesn't follow. I mean, here.
First of all, it's your telling of it. You're astonished by your own confusion. Secondly, there's a clear, again, Occam's razor being what it is, Donald Trump clearly does not give a fuck about you. He used you and tossed you under the fucking bus. Or he didn't even bother to toss you under the bus. He just forgot you were there.
Here's the thing. When I first got into the White House in 2017, one of the first things I learned was that folks like me do not go up on the Hill to testify.
Okay. Did Trump have a fucking powwow? Look, rule number one, you know those NDAs I had with the chicks with the big tits? Okay, I'm now going to do the same thing with my Oval Office staff. Nobody testifies to anybody. Capiche? What the fuck?
And the reason is that we are considered alter egos of the president. And we, you know.
You do realize presidents have testified in front of committee and on the Hill before. You do realize that, right? I know you remember Iran-Contra. You had fucking friends in it.
Within the White House grounds as advisors, we're different from, say, cabinet secretaries, which have an obligation by law to go before Congress a certain amount of times. And they don't have the same kind of absolute testimonial immunity.
You don't have absolute testimonial immunity, Toothless. It's driving me crazy.
That applies to folks like me. But then, like, fast forward, I mean, this was like a clinic for me in learning.
In just how full of shit Trump is, and I am. Right.
The invocation of executive privilege and testimonial immunity. I mean, Pelosi gets control of the House of Representatives in the 2018 midterm
voters give it to her, but sure.
Elections, and states, for the record, publicly, that she's going to use Democrat-controlled investigative committees to make our lives miserable and try to put us in prison. I mean, she said she's coming right after us, and she did. And
I thought, you know, so promises made, promises kept is only a thing that Republicans are allowed to do, or?
Sure enough, the subpoenas started to fly a few months later, and the first ones that flew were related to the Mueller investigation, the Russia hoax. And so they'd send a subpoena to Don McGahn or Rick Dearborn or Rob Porter, and immediately the president would invoke the privilege. And equally immediately, White House legal counsel Pat Cipollone, one of my favorite guys in there, would issue a letter that.
Fuck, this dude is so fucking lost. Like, he's just he's so close to realizing he should roll, and that Trump doesn't give a rat fuck about him.
Quoted the opinions of the Department of Justice, both old and the ones he might solicit, saying, hey, you can't do that. They never got charged with contempt. I am the first person in the history of this country, the first senior White House advisor.
Congratulations.
Ever to be charged with this alleged crime by a Department of Justice, which by its own policy says you can't do that. It's just, and then of course.
Well, you, in all fairness, you worked for the only president that just thought the laws didn't apply to him in totality and went further than Woodrow Wilson or Nixon would have ever dreamed to go. And you went along with all of it.
Along comes J6, right?
Right. It just comes along. That's what happened. It just happened. It was just a thing. We didn't plan it. We just told people to show up. It'll be wild. And then Trump said, attack.
And Brother Bannon gets a subpoena. Kash Patel gets a subpoena. You know these guys from the War Room. Mark Meadows, you know him. Dan Scavino. What happens? Invocation of privilege. And none of those guys, save Bannon, got after. Well, that's another story.
Right. So, point being is that you can invoke privilege for something you were a participant in after you had fucking left the White House. You don't get permanent immunity about stuff because of a plot you allegedly dreamt up with him before it ever became necessary, before you left the White House. What the fuck are you talking about? Why in the world would Bannon get immunity? He'd left the White House already and was working with Trump in that separate war room, which wasn't, I mean, the fucking show's named after it. Good look, like, god damn, and then to just go on and whine.
All right, I'll be right back. We're going to switch gears and talk to Dr. Malone shortly, but I got the Blair Witch Project for you coming up. Don't miss this cold open clip.
Like, watching these fuckers go down is a joy, I have to say. And I appreciate the fact that some of them, at least, are wryly aware of the shit that they're up against, because they know what they did wrong, and they're like, and then the other ones are like, look, if I play dumb enough, I'll be able to get out of this. And that's Trump's defense anyways. Trump's whole defense is based on the idea that if he just continues to say, I truly believe it was stolen, that's my way out in Georgia. It's not going to help him in the documents case. It's not going to help him in his civil cases. It's not going to help him in his business case. That's bullshit. But he thinks it'll help him in Georgia. And he feels like if he gets an acquittal in Georgia because it's the quickest one, then he beat that one, and they're going to come after me harder because I beat that one. Not that each case has value on its own merits. Now, watching the rest of these guys stew on his behalf, I find myself, and I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I find myself like, hold on one second. Where are you? There we go. I find myself like feeling a bit of sympathy for them every so often, and then I snap out of it and I go, what'd you expect? You mean motherfucker. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Happy Labor Day. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Tomorrow's show will be on at the regular time, and I will be going through more of the deposition. I'm still making marks on it. I hope the background, while it still moves, it moves more slowly and is more comforting to some of you. And I will continue to add stuff to the show and modify it as best I can over the next little bit. Don't labor tonight. Just lay back, put your feet up, do something, and know that we're going to get through all of this. We're going to get through all of it. Folks, it's just starting to get good. That said, much love, chat room. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And remember,
I'm rich and I'm dead sexy.
Call me Snake.
I'm just a happy camper.
Hail to the king, baby.
It's good to be the king.
Groovy.
Something strange happened to me this morning. Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you? No. Why am I the only person that has that dream?
don't forget to hit that like on your way out the door. Love you guys.
I'm your huckleberry.
Sorry, I fucked it.
by getting through Alpha. We need you. Hell, I need you. I'm a mess without you. I miss you so damn much. I miss being with you. I miss being near you. I miss your laugh. I miss your scent. I miss your musk. When this all gets sorted out, I think you and me should get an apartment together. River. I agree. I'm a dope.
I had a beat off. In his sock drawer. We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges. Here I am like an idiot. They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately.